All right, in the court of public opinion, a landmark case is now officially in session. Today, we're putting the Supreme Court's decision in Citizens United on trial.
And the charge? It's a serious one. That this single decision, working hand in glove with our voting system, has systematically erased the individual voter from our democracy, effectively rendering them a legal non-person in the outcomes that shape their lives. Members of the jury, I'm here today as counsel for the people, and the case we're about to present is that a grave error has been made. We're going to show you exactly how a legal theory, weaponized by a court decision and activated by an outdated ballot system, has managed to silence the majority. So let's get into our first piece of evidence. Now, our first piece of evidence, Exhibit A, gets to the legal weapon at the very heart of this case. You see, the 2010 Citizens United decision did way more than just open the floodgates to money and politics. It fundamentally twisted the very definition of a person within our democracy. What this decision really did was create a zero-sum game. So on one side, you have this newly empowered corporate person whose speech is measured in unlimited dollars. And on the other side, well, you have the individual person whose voice is a single ballot. It's pretty clear, right? When one side has infinite resources and the other has just one vote, the individual is just inevitably crowded out. It's not a fair fight. It's an erasure.
And this brings us right to the central crime we're talking about. Personhood deletion. Now, this isn't just about the disappointment of your favorite candidate losing an election. No, this goes way deeper. This is about your vote, your preferences, your very legal standing as a participant, completely vanishing from the final math of who actually wins.
Let's move on to Exhibit B and see how this all connects. Because this crime wasn't committed by Citizens United alone. Oh no. It had an accomplice, our default voting system, the one most of us use, often called plurality or winner-take-all voting. This system is the very mechanism that allows this personhood deletion to happen.
So here's how it works. You go and cast your one vote with the best of intentions. But if your candidate doesn't end up winning, that vote spoils. It becomes totally meaningless to the final result. Your preferences just disappear. And in the cold, hard eyes of the outcome, you, the voter, have just been legally deleted.
And this chart shows the strategy perfectly. With unlimited money, a corporate interest can back its chosen candidate while also funding multiple splinter candidates just to divide the opposition. In this scenario, look, the corporate-backed candidate wins with only 35% of the vote. How? Because the massive 65% of voters who wanted someone else had their power deleted by a split vote. But there is a remedy. Let's turn to our final piece of evidence, Exhibit C. And this isn't just some small reform. This is a constitutional and structural solution that actually restores the personhood of every single voter. It's called ranked choice voting. Okay, so instead of casting just a single, fragile, all-or-nothing vote, you rank the candidates in order of your preference. Now, if your first choice can't win, your vote isn't deleted. Nope, it instantly transfers to your second choice. Your preferences stay in the game, you stay in the game, and you remain legally visible until a winner with true majority support is actually found. This whole idea is based on a really profound legal principle, continuous personhood recognition. Think about it this way. If you're an employee, you don't stop being an employee when you go on your lunch break, right? Your legal status is continuous. So why should your status as a voter be any different? Why should it just flicker into existence for 1 second and then just vanish? The difference here is absolutely fundamental. Our current plurality voting system treats democracy as a single, momentary event. Ranked choice voting, on the other hand, treats it as a process. And in that simple shift, your personhood is restored from just a fleeting moment to a continuous presence. And that corporate strategy of vote splitting, it's completely neutralized.
Members of the jury, we've now presented our evidence. The facts, I think you'll agree, paint a really clear and disturbing picture of a democracy that's been compromised, not by force, but by a deep flaw in its own legal architecture. So, to summarize the case, Citizens United created an unfair battle between money and votes. Our current voting system then acts as its willing accomplice by deleting voters and letting the money win. This system, where some voters are counted and others are just erased, is a clear violation of the constitutional promise of equal protection. Ranked choice voting is the remedy. It restores that protection and it disarms the weapon of unlimited spending.
You know, in the end, it really all comes down to this. The structure of our ballot isn't just some trivial detail.
It is the invisible architecture that decides who truly holds power. It determines whether a fire hose of money can drown out the will of the people or whether the majority actually prevails. And so the path forward isn't to get into some hopeless fundraising war that we can never, ever win. The solution is much smarter than that. It is to change the rules of the game itself, to alter that architecture of power so that their greatest weapon, unlimited spending, becomes strategically useless. The people have presented their case. All the evidence is right here, before you. The choice is between a system that deletes its own citizens and one that finally recognizes them. The question is now yours to answer. How do you find?